Good afternoon, good morning, 8th grade students. So I'm just going to do a talk over for this PowerPoint. It's about the 1840s territorial expansion. So you can see here, the United States territory expanded dramatically in the 1840s. By the end of that decade, the United States spanned from the Atlantic to the Pacific coast, and its territory had grown by about a third in the last 3 years. This growth came from war, international treaties, and annexation of territory. This slide here is the annexation of Texas. In 1836, Americans living in the Mexican state of Coahuila y Tejas launched a successful revolution against Mexican rule and established the independent Republic of Texas. The new republic immediately petitioned for annexation by the United States, but U.S. political leaders from both parties rejected the idea out of fear that admitting Texas, a slave-holding republic, would antagonize the deep divisions in the country over slavery. The political landscape and Democratic Party had changed by 1844 when James K. Polk won the party's nomination on a pro-annexation platform and then narrowly won the presidency. His election gave energy to calls for annexation, and Texas was added to the Union as the 28th state just before he was inaugurated in March 1845. Oregon Treaty. The United States gained power over significant territory in the Pacific Northwest as part of the Oregon Treaty with the United Kingdom. In 1818, the U.S. and the U.K. had agreed to establish the U.S.-Canadian border at the 49th parallel from the Great Lakes to the Rocky Mountains. They also agreed to joint occupation of the Oregon Territory. The Oregon Treaty divided the territory, giving the United States control over territory south of the 49th parallel and all the way to the Pacific Ocean. The Mexican Cession. The United States defeated Mexico in the Mexican-American War in 1848. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo ended the war and required Mexico to sell over 500,000 square miles, about half of its total territory, for just $15 million. The war had started over disputed territory along the Mexico-U.S. border in Texas. The U.S. held that the Rio Grande River was the border, and Mexico believed it was the Nueces River, further to the north. In a provocative move, the U.S. sent troops into the disputed territory, and after months of refusing to engage in conflict, a group of Mexican soldiers crossed the Rio Grande and attacked American soldiers. The U.S. promptly declared war against its militarily overmatched neighbor to the south. Colonization of Native American nations. These treaties and annexations ignored the claims and rights of Native American nations living there. Even as Mexico and Britain abandoned their claims to these areas, Native American nations continued to resist American colonization. So, what motivated American territorial expansion in the 1840s? That will be our search of study and inquiry today.